Welcome to another edition of Grizzlies Daily. I am your host, Melek Robinson. Let's get straight into it. There's not much going on really when it comes to the Grizzlies, especially right now in the offseason. Obviously, we still got the NBA playoffs going on. About to have the conference finals going on. So I just want to touch on a few things, leading into next season and some interesting points from previous seasons that we're just now finding out about that I find pretty interesting. I think you all will find interesting. So first thing is looking at what lineup will work best for the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, I have a graphic pulled up. It's from a Twitter account called NBA University. Very good page. You all should go check it out. It's the most played five man lineups used by the Grizzlies this season. Just an idea, net rating wise, the lineup that worked the best was John Morant, Desmond Bane, Jalen Wells, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Zach Edey. The net rating, the net rating plus possession is plus 27.1. That's good. That's good, right? Then you go into the worst lineup. You have John Morant, Desmond Bane, Jalen Wells, Santi Aldama, and Zach Edey. It's minus 13.8. And I'm kind of glad this graphic was made because it goes to a point that I made during the playoffs. In fact, I think I said it all to you all. When it comes to Santi Aldama, I like Santi Aldama's offensive game at times, but I definitely do think defensively he is one of the biggest liabilities on the team. And that is no knock to him as like we need to get rid of him or anything. I mean, I definitely think if you get a good market for him, look at it. But I like his development. I just really wish he got back on defense quicker and got back into, really understanding the zone defense because that was one thing that really killed the Grizzlies was Santi Aldama's defense in the zone. A lot of guys left open, whether it was the paint or the corner, and it really hurt them, especially in the series like OKC. So I would say I'm very glad this graphic is made because it goes to show that Jalen Wells really makes an impact, and it also shows that certain guys really just don't need to be in the game when it comes to figuring out the rotation. Um, I mean, you look at it. Looks like so far when the starters are in and the key defense players are in, we're perfect. But it's like you throw in guys like Luke Kennard and I'm looking right now. I see surprisingly Scottie Pippen Jr., but um, oddly enough, I'm looking at it right now. It's the lineup that I'm looking at Scottie in. Brandon Clark is in, and then the next lineup has Scottie in. It's like the second best productive lineup for the Grizzlies. Literally just jumping around off the bench and Scottie Pippen in his place. So I definitely think, as far as lineups for the Grizzlies go, if you had to ask me at the All Star break, I would have said we needed a we probably needed to upgrade in the center or power forward position, especially if we're like a center power forward position. I would say try having Jaren at the five. I definitely think Jaren needs more reps or more practice at least at the five. I feel like Jaren being at the four, yes, it is his true position, but in certain cases, Jaren needs to understand how to play the five position. That's just something that needs to happen. I mean, he's about to be in year 8. He definitely needs to understand how to play the center position without fouling and getting and shuffling his feet on defense. Another thing, so if I were the Grizzlies, the lineup I would run easily: John Morant, Desmond Bane, Jalen Wells, Jaren, and Zach Edey. I mean, pretty much similar lineup, but I would say earlier this year when Taylor Jenkins was the coach, I was someone that was a fond believer that Zach Edey should have been coming off the bench. And the main reason for that is I used to think it was Zach Edey that was the problem because he was still developing as a rookie, and he still is. But we learned easily and quickly with Thomas Isolo as the coach. He knew how to get Zach Edey implemented and knew where to put him on the floor on defense when it came to getting rebounds and simply setting screens and picking up on the drive. Now I will say in the pick and roll late game situation, we've seen teams kind of exploit their pick and roll, the 2-man game involving Edie. I would say that's another reason why I would go for a backup center or at least teach Jaren how to play the 5 and move someone in at the 4, because we've seen countless times Zach Edey just get beat or not pick up, and understandably so. I mean, if you're playing a pick and roll with Steph Curry and Draymond, like we saw, Zach Edey's not picking up. He's not going to pick up on that. He's not going to keep up with Steph Curry. That's why you saw guys like Scottie Pippen running around the court trying to catch up with him. So it's like, it's just one of those things where it's like, I would go for it. I wouldn't, and I really truly mean this because it goes a long way into trying to build a championship roster. So I would say keep the regular lineup, but when it comes to closing the game, I would say let's go try to run Jaren at the 5 and have someone at the 4. So I don't know who you would pick up for that position, but I definitely think it should be done. Now, something else I want to talk about, because I've seen a couple people talking about it, and it's just something I've seen easily a discussion amongst Grizzlies fans and other teams fans. Um, a lot of people are watching Desmond Bane in the trade market this summer. Now, understandably so, because Desmond Bane is actually like a very valuable player. He really is. Now, granted, we have seen multiple times in the playoffs, Desmond has struggled. And it really does hurt the team in the long run, because if Ja's not getting it going, Jaren's not getting it going, it's like you kind of have to rely on Dez. And we've seen Desmond Bane step up when he needs to, but it's a bit of a challenge because sometimes the shot just isn't going, or he will, kind of have a turnover issue, which is something that I wanted to address with Desmond Bane for the longest time. He does that move where he kind of goes into the air looking for a shot, but when it's not there, he doesn't know what to do with the ball, so he just kind of throws it away. We saw that multiple times in the playoffs, and it really hurt the team, especially when it comes to fast break points, because when it comes to defense, the Grizzlies is one of the best defensive teams in the league, but their main downfall was fast break points. That's truly what it was. I mean, it's not, you can't play defense if it's a 3-on-2 or a 3-on-1. It's just that simple. So it really is. It really comes down to the turnovers, and we saw an increase in that in Desmond Bane. Now, if you ask me personally, I know everyone has their frustrations with Desmond Bane. I've had my frustrations with Desmond Bane. I would say at most give it one more year before we truly look at trading him away. And the reason I say that is because I don't know exactly what player you could put in a package for him that comes out with the Grizzlies winning. And the reason I say that is because it's difficult trading. It's difficult to make trades nowadays. Guys want this, GMs want that, teams doing this. Teams ask for a lot. So Desmond Bane being traded, in hindsight, it may be a good decision for some people, but it's more to it than we think, and that's why I think Desmond Bane probably will not get traded anytime soon. Now, I will say this: if a superstar is up for grabs and they ask for Desmond Bane, and it's an easily replaceable player that can fill in the spot for him, then I say go for it. I mean, we've seen Desmond Bane's development. Some team, including the Grizzlies, is gonna love him. So it'll be interesting to see if we hear any rumors of Desmond Bane being shopped or included in trade offers. If that does happen, I'll be following in. I'll make sure to report it to you all. But as of right now, there's no talks. But speaking of talks, we got another mock trade involving Ja Morant. This time it involves the Miami Heat and the Los Angeles Lakers. This one coming from Yahoo Sports, and it's from their article titled Massive 3-Team Trade Idea. And this is centered around Ja Morant going to the Heat and the Los Angeles Lakers and the Memphis Grizzlies receiving something in return. So the proposed trade includes the Lakers receiving Andrew Wiggins and Khalil Ware from the Miami Heat. The Heat will then receive Ja Morant, and the Grizzlies will receive Austin Reeves, Dorian Finney-Smith through a signing trade, a 2025 first-round pick from Golden State, and a 2031 first-round pick from Miami. I looked at this, and I've seen some things. I've seen some opinions. People see picks in the amount that you're getting back, and instantly are like, well, that's not that bad of a deal. this would not be a good deal for the Grizzlies. In fact, I would go along the lines to say this wouldn't be good for any team except for the Miami Heat. And this is not me being biased at all. I mean, think about it. The Lakers get Andrew Wiggins and Khalil Ware. Khalil Ware, at most, great pickup. He'd be a great pickup. It's the center that the Lakers have been looking for. He's young. He's developing. He's a rim protector, and he's pretty athletic. Great return for the Lakers, but Andrew Wiggins, that's I don't think you really get much from Andrew Wiggins. I mean, I really personally think outside of that 2022 season, we have not seen much from Andrew Wiggins. And I don't think we will see much from Andrew Wiggins. That's just the reality. He's someone that can pop off every now and then, but I mean, depending on what the Lakers are asking for him and how JJ Redick would implement him in the lineup, I don't think that'd be a good trade for the Lakers. That's just my personal opinion. Now, if we're speaking for the Miami Heat, having John Morant, there's nothing else to say. You get John Morant, you somehow keep Bam Adebayo. You got Tyler Hero. That's a scary duo. That's why I said Miami will probably be the only team that really benefits from this. And we've seen this work because, granted, we've seen Miami run guards and succeed with guards like Kendrick Nunn, for example. So having John Morant in as a playmaker and a slasher at any given moment, that'll work perfect. It opens the floor for Tyler Hero, and it gives Bam Adebayo the chance to really get that mid-range game going on like a Kevin Garnett level. So Miami would absolutely win this trade. Now for the Grizzlies, Austin Reeves, Dorian Finney-Smith, and 2 first-round picks. My opinion on this, and this is truly my opinion when it comes to this, I do not think this would work out good for them. You're trading away essentially, actually, there's no essentially. You're trading away the offense, the guy the offense centers around, to implement a guy that the Lakers forced to play point guard. And then you're also adding a guy that the Grizzlies could have had. They could have had at the trade deadline, but it comes at the cost of their superstar. I don't agree with that. I really do not agree with that, and that's why I think these writers really need to think about the trades that they come up with. Because if you really look into it, why would the Grizzlies accept this? There's no reason the Grizzlies would accept this. Austin Reeves, heck of a player. We've seen Austin Reeves at countless times make the right plays when it comes to handling the ball. But asking him to pick up the load that Ja Morant, let's be real. We're asking Austin Reeves to pick up the same workload on offense as Ja Morant. That's not happening. You can't. I'll be honest. There's not many guys in the league that can replace Ja Morant, especially on the Grizzlies. So I definitely don't think that will work. And as far as Dorian Finney-Smith, I mean, if I'm being honest, you're looking at a 3-and-D guy, but I think you can get better. You can get better for the asking price. I mean, Cam Johnson is still on the table. There's Jonathan Kuminga, who can bring in a lot of talent offensively. So I think if you're going to put John Morant on the table, the asking price needs to be a lot. I'm not one to compare guys, but imagine the Timberwolves trade Anthony Edwards for, say, I don't know, let's just throw a random name out there, Aaron Nesmith. You tell me with a straight face the Grizzlies is taking that deal. The Timberwolves taking that deal. Because if I'm being honest, if I'm the Grizzlies and I got proposed that deal, this is exactly what I would do. I'd listen and then I hang up. Because who's really listening to, who's accepting that offer? Let's just be honest. So I definitely think this deal was dumb. I don't think they don't really think about it for real. And I would not entertain anything like that. So, once again, another Ja Morant trade, in my opinion, that would absolutely flop. So, the mock trades, get back to the drawing board. That one ain't it, Chief. Now, something else, and this is something that I saw on Twitter making the rounds. This is from, I believe, his name on Twitter or the podcast. The podcast, I don't know the name of the podcast, but it's from a guy. His podcast. He was with, I believe, Zach Lowe, and his name is Logan Murdoch. Shout out Logan Murdoch. Sorry about that. Basically, he went into detail talking about how a couple years ago there was a possibility that Draymond Green could have been a Grizzly. Now, obviously, in hindsight, we know that Draymond has said, "Hey, I was thinking about going to the Grizzlies in free agency, but he chose not to." This one, however, is talking about a trade that almost happened. And the trade was basically the Grizzlies and Warriors. The Grizzlies would have received Draymond Green, and the Warriors would have been getting back Steven Adams, Dylan Brooks, and Tyus Jones. Now, the way I feel about that, this is present day Malik talking. Knowing what we know now and who we got in return for the Steven Adams and Dylan Brooks trades, I'd take this deal 100%. Especially with the Tyus Jones deal, I take this 100%. I accept this. Draymond, the enforcer, playmaker, opens up the floor for John Morant. Because here's my thing. I'm imagining it. You get a pick and roll. John Morant, Draymond Green. Ja takes the screen. They double. Dump it down to Draymond, and he throws it up to Zach Edey. Just that simple. It's literally that simple. We saw Draymond do this when they had Andrew Bogut and Zaza Pachulias and JaVale McGee. This would have been perfect for the Grizzlies, in my opinion. Now, if this was in the past, 2022, I would have looked at you crazy. I genuinely would have looked at you crazy. But I do think if Draymond Green joins the Grizzlies in 2023, this would be a perfect trade. This would be exactly what the Grizzlies are looking for to help in hindsight. Now, the Grizzlies still would have needed to get shooters, playmakers, and defenders. But with a guy like Draymond, you're getting for sure the playmaker and defending. And I do think that would have been perfect. It probably would have helped Jaren at the 5, if I'm being honest. Because if there's somebody that Jaren can learn when it comes to defense, it's Draymond. Both guys went to Michigan State. They both were coached by Tom Izzo. Draymond, granted, when he tries, he knows how to play excellent physical defense without fouling. And that's something I think Jaren can learn. He knows how to play physical defense, but Jaren doesn't know how to keep his hands to himself. And that's something that really bothers me watching Jaren on defense, especially with him being a former Defensive Player of the Year. We also see Jaren go for a lot of blocks that really don't even need to be going for, but he goes for them anyway, and then allows an offensive rebound or a putback. Just something that really hurts the Grizzlies because second chance points really do hurt on defense. So that was just something I saw, and I really do think if Draymond Green joins the Grizzlies in 2023, it works out perfect. I mean, let's be real. It probably would be great because everyone can learn from Draymond Green, especially a guy like Gigi Jackson, who is a pretty good defender already, but he would be an even better defender if he learns from a guy like Draymond. So, as I wrap this up, let me know in the comments, what do you think the Grizzlies, how do you think the Grizzlies would do if Draymond Green joined back in 2023? This is something I really want to hear because everyone has their opinions on Draymond. I have my opinions on Draymond, but I cannot deny and say that he wouldn't. I can't tell you with a straight face and say that he wouldn't have been impactful, and I am jealous that the Warriors do have Draymond. Now, at this point, I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, there's a possibility Draymond could still join the Grizzlies. Who knows? But I do want to know y'all's opinion. Is Draymond Green worthy? Worthy is crazy. Is Draymond Green valuable to the Grizzlies if he was on a roster? Like I said, I've seen plenty of takes, but I want to know y'all's, especially if y'all watch the episode. Give me an insight. I'm willing to go back and forth with you guys, so make sure to leave a comment, subscribe to Grizzlies Daily, turn on those post notifications, and I will see you all in the next video. Make sure to stay blessed.